Sahara. Not to mention, there are electric eels in the water, black caimans that
Yes, time to go.
The fierce, strong jawed jaguar.
Let's go.
The jaguar is the third largest cat in the world, the largest in all of the Americas, one of the kings of the Amazon. He bites with a force of 1,500 psi. He runs at 50 miles per hour. His 6-foot-long, 350-pound body is meant for ambush attacks and pouncing on large prey, taking them down in an instant. The jaguar is a scary planet, maybe the scariest in the Amazon. But would he be the scariest after we move down a new resident? 6,215 miles away. So, if we traveled about 6,215 miles north of the Amazon, we might come across some polar bears. Contrary to popular belief, you could also travel the distance south of the Amazon and find polar bears. That is to say, you will find polar bears in the Arctic Circle, but not the Antarctic Circle. Polar bears only live in the northern hemisphere, far, far away from the Amazon. The polar bear's habitat probably couldn't be any different from that of the Amazonian rainforest. Like we said, if you travel due north from the Amazon about 6,215 miles, you'd likely hit the Arctic Circle. And it's getting chilly already, isn't it? Polar bears live in areas across Canada, but you can also go west and find them in Alaska. Again, as long as you are far enough north. You can even go east and find them in northern portions of Greenland. Also the Norwegian archipelago of Svalbard and Russia. Polar bears have even been found in the actual geographic location of the North Pole itself, although that is rare, since that's smack dab in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Circle is huge, spanning across the northern portion of the globe, so depending on where you are, the temperature can vary. But as you can imagine, it's largely cold, freezing. Certain areas in the summer can reach up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but we are not really expecting any days warmer than that, and we're not relying on those 50 degrees days to be appearing often. More often, we'll be experiencing temperatures below freezing, far below freezing, and that's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. There are places in Siberia that in the month of January, you can expect minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, negative 40. So as you've guessed, there's a lot of snow and ice in these regions. Yes, you'll find polar bears on the mainland, but you will often find them right in the waters of the Arctic Ocean, and they frequent the sea ice as well. The terrain in their overall habitat changes from frozen ground to frozen water to just water, even though that water feels freezing cold. So, how do polar bears do it? How do they withstand that climate? How do they handle all those different types of terrain? The polar bear way. The reason polar bears can live in such harsh conditions that would transform any human into a two-legged ice cube is because they are built for that climate. Polar bears can withstand those freezing temperatures because they are big and have bodies adapted to the cold. The polar bear is huge. It's not only the largest bear in the world, it's the largest land predator. Big bodies mean more warmth generated, and boy is the polar bear big. The males are generally 5 feet tall at the shoulder, between 8 and 10 feet long, and will easily weigh over 1,700 pounds, sometimes even exceeding 2,000 pounds. Although they are strong and muscular bears, a large portion of their body is made up of fat. In fact, it's about half of their body weight that is fat, which helps them to keep warm. One reason is because of their diet. They eat a lot of animals rich in blubber. Blubber is basically fat, and you are what you eat. All bears eat more than just meat in their diet, having some balance between meat and other foods. Polar bear is the most carnivorous bear in the world. The portion of their diet consisting of meat is far more than the other nears. Polar bears are technically hypercarnivores, meaning that more than 70% of their diet consists of meat. A lot of this has to do with the fact that they need that extra fat. So, animals that make the polar bear's monthly menu include many types of seals. The most common is the ringed seal, as it's fairly small and easy to take down. They also eat a lot of bearded seals and palm seals. As you can see, anything with blubber makes an excellent meal for a polar bear. They'll occasionally hunt walrus too, but typically go for the smaller and younger walruses. They've even been known to prey on smaller whales like beluga whales and narwhals. They don't eat much plant matter, but they do eat fruits such as berries when they can find them, and sometimes moss, grass, and seaweed. Though the claws aren't needed for taking down a bushel of berries, they may be used in securing a meal of seal and also for traversing the tricky and slippery terrain. And the polar bear's claws are sharp, sharper than their cousins, the brown bears. They extend about 3.75 inches from their toes, which is shorter than that of most brown bears. The polar bear's bite force, another important factor when securing a meal, is the strongest among all the bears, 1,200 psi. Possibly the most impressive thing about a polar bear is its speed. They can get up to 25 miles per hour on land, even the icy land. Those shorter, sharper claws assist with that. And when they're in the water, they can swim up to 6 miles per hour. And they can go for long distances too. Living in the Arctic means you have to be an endurance champion. But is a polar bear also an adaptable champion? What would happen if we took several polar bears and brought them to the Amazon? From the Arctic to the Amazon. We finally booked that direct flight from the Arctic to the Amazon. We have dropped off our polar bears right in the heart of the rainforest. The first thing they would notice, the heat. It's like stepping off a plane into a warmer climate, wishing you weren't wearing your jacket. Only the polar bear's jacket is his layers of fat underneath his skin, so he wouldn't be able to take them off. This would pose a major problem for the polar bears, because they are adapted to living in the cold. That is why their bodies have so much fat. That much fat in their bodies would cause them to become overheated in the Amazonian rainforest. The short answer to this question, if you immediately introduced polar bears into the Amazon, it would be highly unlikely that they would survive. Though they'd be excellent hunters and would have their pick of prey, their bodies wouldn't be able to handle the extreme heats. They'd probably spend much time in the water trying to cool off, and that just wouldn't be sustainable. However, if we looked at this through a long-term lens, the polar bear may have a shot. For instance, the polar bear's cousin is the brown bear, a species of bear that is so closely related that the two can actually mate and create hybrid offspring. Now, brown bears are mainly found in cooler climates, not quite as cold as polar bears, but they're typically found throughout colder regions like Canada and northern US. Some people think brown bears don't live in warmer climates because they are not suited to it. However, historically, brown bears have existed in many warm climates. They used to live in southern US and even in Mexico. Over time, various factors have pushed them out of those places. But if various factors were to ever push brown bears south again, and over a long frame of time they made their way to the Amazon, adapting along the way, century after century, they'd be able to exist down there. So perhaps the polar bear could do the same. Polar bears would need to adapt to eating less food, storing less fat. They'd thinner. They'd likely shrink in size. That would be the way a polar bear could potentially make it in the Amazon. A sudden change, it wouldn't work. And even if a polar bear thinned out and shrunk down in size, they'd still be big. They'd still be bigger than the jaguars there, and would likely keep their title of apex predator, moving from the Arctic down to the Amazon, and feast on all the fish the river had to offer. And they'd likely adapt their pace to include many tapirs and deer and things of that nature. The jaguars would be upset with the competition, but at least they know now if this were to ever happen, it will take a long time. They have plenty of time to prepare. Again, the polar bear is too used to its extreme climates. The sudden move to the Amazon would be too detrimental to their health. They'd slow down instantly. Their extra fat would be weighing them down, preventing them from daily tasks, making hunting a chore in most instances. The jaguars would love to see that. They may even be able to make a slow, exhausted polar bear into an exotic meal. The polar bear may outweigh the jaguar, but after some time in the humid climate and the overbearing sun, the jaguar is plenty strong enough with powerful enough jaws, able to take down a tired polar bear. But if we gave the polar bears a few thousand years to adapt and make their way down to the Amazon the long way, watch out, jaguars. That's no bear you want to see. For now, the only bear in the Amazon is the spectacled bear, and it looks like it will stay that way for a while.
information. Okay. I build this section up. It would ask for song requests. What do y'all want to see? Yeah, that's gonna look good. Okay, that's gonna set his body in. I'm already planning on the next one. I just gotta figure out what blocks I'm gonna use. This off my list. Let's see. That's forming good leg structure. Gotta keep that knee in bow. Anything else I want? Let's see. Hey. I think I may do something different though. Yeah. This one I need you guys as well. This one. Okay, there we go. There we go. Some more nihilists. Get out. Fuck did you scratch me for? No. You're a lot bigger than a dragon. This hat probably the dragon size. So get out. Go. I don't need all this scratching and shit. I'm a fool. Go. Fuck out of here. You me. Just yeah. Hey, darling. Hey, everybody.
All of you, she gonna love you. I just want to know if you're still okay. Okay. She said if I do two things, if I plead the fifth and I stated I could have done the term.
Okay. I don't care if you throw me in jail. I'm not saying a word. I'm not getting on the stand.
And how we go.
Okay.
Day 106 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial was interesting. Lil Woody comes in court and gets asked if he wants to testify again. The judge also says they are completely restarting on Woody's testimony. The judge still has to rule on motions for a mistrial and fair trial, but I can already tell she's going to deny it, honestly, and the trial is going to continue next week with the jury coming in. So join the channel membership. It's only 10 cents per day. Hit subscribe. Here we go, boys.
Here, Your Honor, the state did not violate the professional rules of ethics. We didn't violate Rule 4.2A regarding communication with an unrepresented person. The court has heard the testimony of Mr. Melnick. The court can gauge the credibility of the witnesses after Attorney Melnick informed the state that he represented Mr. Copeland, had no further conversations with Mr. Copeland about the subject of this case without either Attorney Melnick or Attorney Bumpus present. And in response to Mr. Melnick's email, the state it wouldn't communicate with Copeland further, but noted that we had arranged for transportation and that an investigator would pick Mr. Copeland up the following morning for his court appearance. Two judges so far have concluded it was not improper. Disqualification is not an appropriate remedy under any event, especially given all of the circumstances here. We would ask that the court deny the defendant's motion to disqualify, and if there are other grounds, we would ask that the court, if they bring other grounds, we would ask that the court require that they list out all of the grounds that they're seeking so that we can address them at once, Your Honor.
So she's saying the two grounds to disqualify prosecutors in other cases they didn't do. But yeah, the prosecutors clearly didn't coerce Woody to testify or anything.
Well, I think both Mr. Weinstein's and Mr. Sharp's motions that are pending right now, Mr. Weinstein's for a mistrial and Mr. Sharp's for a fair trial, set forth additional bases and suggest that as one of the potential remedies or grounds for relief. So
There's like a thought on day 106 right here.
problems are fine unless one party objects, in which case we need to prove evidence. And so phone calls, jail calls.
Now we're discussing Woody jail calls. Lil Rod is literally asleep. I'm pretty sure this guy got convicted of murdering someone, so I can't feel too bad for him, but they have to wake up at 4 in the morning. He's already in jail for life, Lil Rod.
Mr. Copeland gave testimony prior to the motion for recusal and then further testimony following the motion to recuse, and we all kind of agreed, okay, things that occur after they ultimately granted motion to recuse basically need to be redone. But if everybody can come to agreement as to, these things, these parts of the testimony are okay anyway, then y'all can by agreement say these parts are okay.
I thought the law already said that anything after the 12th recusal motion is invalid, so I guess she's just asking for input here.
And we can move forward. So have y'all got together, now that I believe you have all of his testimony thus far, to decide what, if anything, how to handle it? Does somebody want to represent to the court what the defense position is, if it's a joint position?
The stance is that everything post the recusal needs to be redone, just because we feel that that's the applicable law.
William, Stillwell, Kendrick, Stu, Ryan. Oh. Yes, I don't know. Sorry. Nichols.
Or Nichols, always asking to be severed, and here she goes forgetting about him.
The forgotten person in this case should be severed, and who continues to object.
It's not, I'm just laughing at the situation. Obviously, it's difficult with a real person's life, and he has to go in there every day.
It's my understanding that everybody was joined in the position that Mr. Copeland's testimony was coerced based on what occurred during the June 10th ex parte. So, and yet I know at least some of you want that testimony and said that yesterday. So, are you waiving the issue of its potential coercion?
That's kind of funny. Obviously, a lot of defense lawyers say that was coercion, but at the same time, they think it helped them, so they want to keep it.
Good morning, Your Honor. I am not waiving that.
All right, so then how do we handle that?
So I just to say I was answering your question. If Mr. Copeland's resumes testimony, then my understanding of the rule is for the law is the way that the court announced. I think all parties understand that once a motion for the Douglas Weinstein was filed on the 12th, everything thereafter is excluded. We redo it. And that's what we was having last night. That's what we was responding to. Intimidated, coerced. And if yes, we're going to ask you then, the witness was intimidated that he should not he can choose what he wants to do, and then we would strike everything.
Okay, well then let's go ahead and find that out. I mean, can you get him here so that we get...
Oh, they're going to ask Woody if he feels like he was coerced to testify. And if he says yes, they're going to get rid of everything. Miss Love is standing up. She's not going to like any of this.
Everything after June, whether the recusal motion was filed or not, that's not a separate issue. Whether his testimony post June 10th ex parte meeting was coerced. And if it was coerced, what then? And then how do we still say, oh yeah, but I want, some of that testimony, that's still good.
then we will find out whether Mr. Copeland actually wants to testify, continue testifying. Then, if he doesn't continue to testify, my understanding of the law is then he's never been given an opportunity to be cross-examined.
Right.
And if you strike all his testimony, then you give the command to the jury to write out everything that you heard, saw, there were writings introduced, all exhibits struck, give you your notes. That's what I thought.
Okay, I just didn't understand because, and thank you for clarifying, because what I was trying to set out is, are y'all kind of taking the position, it was coerced, we have to redo all of it based on the coercion, but then also, yeah, we want to keep parts of it anyway. So if it's a, yes, if it was coerced, then we need to redo all of it, or find out, let's see at this point, kind of redo, but are you intending to extend and testify, or are you going to be holding it to? Okay, all right, just so it sounds like then we're on the same page. Just wanted to make sure y'all weren't wanting it kind of both ways.
We're looking into whether or not this testimony was coerced. How that's it for not revisit it or go back and see it, have a hearing on whether or not.
Okay, so this isn't a revisiting of the issue because the issue is live. It's still pending before the court. Again, Mr. Kendrick's motion and supplemental motion for mistrial. And
Yeah, what is Ms. Love yapping about? How is this revisiting coercion? She's still trying to rule on motions for mistrial. Woody's testimony is the center of all of it.
big claim in both of those motions. And I just gave you to Friday to respond to them, but and yeah, I think that on the record, it's a legal determination to be made. We don't necessarily need to hear from Mr. Copeland. I'm not sure about Mr. Copeland's credibility on anything anyway, but
I'm in agreement with the judge. She doesn't think Woody is credible at all either.
notion that he could be held until the trial of even the severed co-defendants was concluded, I don't think is a correct statement of the law. If you believe that it is, then please provide me with what you're basing that belief on. I think that some of the assertions about statute of limitations potentially were incorrect with regard to crimes based on statute of limitations. I mean, there's the immunity issue, which is wholly separate, but y'all are basically saying you don't even have to worry about it for the statute of limitations reason. They're saying, well, then how are we sitting over here charged with RICO for crimes, the statute of with the statute that's run on the overacts? They're in support of the RICO.
Ooh, that is contradicting. They're yapping at Woody about having the statute of limitations ran, but then they're charging people with the RICO statute, which is 5 years in Georgia, by the way. But yet they're still charged from shit 9 years ago, pretty much, is a lot of this.
I mean, some of the this is or isn't perjury things are a little, I don't think, quite exactly accurate either.
Yikes, a lot of inaccurate stuff, coercing a witness to testify.
So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, you're on a risk, even if I say it wasn't coerced, if that is the legal determination to make, I mean, I'm saying it's a really close call, and it might be better to just pre-remit that issue and deal with it a different way.
Mr. Zachary's statement, his statement that I did.
So now they're about to talk about Quindarius Zachary's statements. Quindarius Zachary was a straw gun purchaser for YSL. Don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure he also spoke a little bit to Fed, but I'm not, don't hold me on that. There's so many names to keep track of.
Are you planning on playing, if allowed, the part where he talks to the 18 feds about the guns?
Okay, well, never mind. Immediately after I say that, you did talk to the feds about the guns.
Not everything that he says in these sessions is based on what arguably a co-conspirator said to him. So some objections may be it's improper character evidence, it's irrelevant, things of that nature. But there is a lot of things that he was told, and quite frankly, Your Honor, there's some that know him to have allegedly been present for something, and the source of this information is unclear. It may be rumor, it may be something he was told, and that's probably something that we're going to need to wade through at some point.
Yeah, so it sounds like some of Quindarius' statements to the feds might be a lot of hearsay.
All right, so the very first one is about the judge, and I just said I wasn't there, so it's obviously hearsay, so that's an assumption. All right, so are you good with the redaction of 11 line 10 through 12 line 10? Have you had a chance to look at these proposed redactions yet?
I looked at them, I have synced them up with my transcript in my
Okay.
So because I read the transcript and listened to it so many times, with that.
Okay.
So she hasn't synced it up, so she's not too prepared, which I get. I mean, everyone's busy as shit, but
And unless if I don't establish that foundation, I won't tender that. But if I do, I just want to be able to play that part about his.
So how about this? Right now, it's out on, granted, it's to speculation. And if you establish it, then that'll be a different story.
oh boy, she started selling Glenville. She's like, all right, it's out right now, but if you establish enough foundation, it can come in.
My objection is drug use. And the character that's associated with that in the statement, they really didn't care. Speculation about someone else's mind state or state of mind. The reality is, within this context, is a story about that Mr. Zachary gives that he describes my client, as well as others, shooting up houses. And I'm not,
Yeah, 'cause I can see why Shard's on that end. He's talking about Shannon Stillwell shooting up houses.
of course, I don't want that to be admitted, and that's a fight for another day. But I'm not objecting to that on any of these bases. But I am objecting. So I'm not objecting to him talking about that at this time. But I am objecting to him pontificating about my client's state of mind as this was going on, because he can't really speak to that.
So that would just go to the really care part, and then you're saying the fact that he said they were taking Xanax is.
I don't know his basis of knowledge of that, but I don't believe that to be true. But I don't know his basis of knowledge.
So Shard doesn't like him talking about Shannon Stillwell taking some Xanax.
He is in the car with the person that he's speaking to, the detectives about. He has the opportunity to observe them up close. The question posed as the court can see is, did they feel some kind of way that you didn't get out of the car? We believe that the evidence has shown and will continue to show that these people he's in the car with that are shooting up these houses are his friends. He's known them for a long time. And his personal observations of them and personal knowledge of them is what allows him to make the assertion that he does as to why they didn't care that he didn't get out of the car while they're facing arguably danger. They're the ones getting out of what Mr. Dagger doing the shooting, but they were high, essentially. So that's the reason why they didn't mind him not getting out of the car. We argue that it's intrinsic. It could go to why they would be so brazen as to do something like that. But the fact that they were high while they were shooting, the fact that it incidentally touches on someone's character.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to overrule it as to character. And if you can establish that he actually knew they were on Xanax and high.
Same rule as last time.
Mr. Zachary is asked by the prosecutor what was y'all's intention when you all headed over there. He says that we were going to kill one of the boys. And then the prosecutor says that one of the boys, I know we talked about a bunch of names, but which of the guys were you looking for? He's specifically talking about their intentions when they went on this shooting spree. I think that it's not only relevant, it's intrinsic, it tells, it gives a motive for what they were doing. He has personal knowledge of it. He was in the car. They were riding together.
Well,
Jesus. Jerry Zachary is definitely speaking to the feds a little bit too much, boys.
did you establish that he knew that's what they...
Okay, she's going to be a broken record all day, just establishing foundation.
My client was never charged.
Okay.
Mr. Zachary is throwing my client's name into this. And I understand that's subject to cross-examination as well. But when he says, what was y'all's intention?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it strikes me that Mr. Zachary can speak to his own intention, unless he says Mr. Stillwell was there, and this is what Mr. Stillwell said, or something of that nature. He can speak to his own intention, what his intention was, and the state can ask him on the stand, Mr. Zachary, when you went over to the house, what was your plan? But unless someone else articulated their plan to Mr. Zachary, I don't think he's authorized to speak to what anyone else's plan was.
I understand, and it may very well be that you can establish that they all had a joint intention because they had some sort of talk about it beforehand.
And they actually he reveals earlier in the interview that they do discuss it.
Right, so where's that?
Investigator Dennis asks why does Bluetooth connect actually Antonio Sledge spell tell you not to get out of the car. He said, Mr. Zachary said, because he said we don't shoot up houses, leave that to them. That's one point that they're talking. Further back on line, page 24, when Mr. Zachary is talking to Detective Dennis about the kind of guns that they have, naming them.
Okay, I mean, it does look like they got it.
Well, Your Honor, he's talking about what Bluetooth said. Bluetooth's not even here. My client is not going to, and so I don't find respectfully what Ms. Love said to really address the issue.
Right, so where is it that your client gets, what is it that is indicating that he's talking, his speech includes your client if your client's not in the car?
No, my client is supposedly in the car, according to Mr. Zachary. But what Ms. Love talked about is Bluetooth telling Mr. Zachary to not get out of the car, saying we don't shoot up houses, leave that to them. What that has to do with my client's intent to kill someone, I'm not seeing that link at all. And my whole point is this, Your Honor, they can establish through Mr. Zachary that my client indicated what the intent was, what the plan was. That's not in this transcript. That's going to come across as live testimony, which would render prior statements, out-of-court statements, irrelevant anyways, because it would have been established through live testimony.
Right.
So I don't know why we would keep this in the transcript.
Judge, I thought that the whole purpose of this exercise was assuming that they don't.
Yes. Okay, so assuming you need to use that as a prior.
Yes, and in response to Mr. Sharp.
Sharp kind of fit up. He didn't realize they're just going through everything in case they have to use it as a prior inconsistent statement. This is kind of strange, though, because it's when Derry Zachary supposedly hearing something Mooktoon said about Shannon.
The statement is just based on assumptions made for the actions of others. Then the jurors are in a similar place with Mr. Zachary to draw that conclusion. But I don't understand why Mr. Zachary, his conclusion about what my client's intent was particularly helpful or relevant to anything, unless my client articulated it to him.
The reality is that an assertion by a co-conspirator, if everyone is acting for the same goal, people are getting shot up, houses are getting shot up, and
assault rifles that are in the car.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Judge letting a lot of stuff in, man. Not a good look for Shannon Stillwell, at least. Statements about Shannon Stillwell shooting up houses with guns in the car.
When Derry Zachary about activities that YSL and rivals are sort of involved in. Mr. Dennis
The judge is definitely letting that in.
talked about how they thought it was Kel, and Mr. Zachary says no. But Zachary later on line 17 says they tried to say that we did, acknowledging that there is a we, acknowledging in a way that helps to prove count one in our indictment. There is a they, who is an opposition group, who tried to say that we did it, we being YSL.
Where is the part where the opposition group is saying they thought we did it? I see the investigator saying we thought y'all did it, but
No, line 17, where he says they tried to say that we did it, on page 33.
oh, it's back on page 30. I'm sorry.
Establish the existence of the enterprise, the game, and the fact that there's an opposition and a they and a we.
All right, Mr. Short.
I think that's not factually accurate.
Shard saying she happened.
With this alleged incident, the shooting of the houses, Mr. Zachary also puts a gentleman, two gentlemen, Trevante Turner and a Ted, being in the caravan with them shooting up these houses. Trevante Turner is sadly deceased. I've never heard anyone allege that he was a member of YSL. The paper just reported that he was associated with, I believe it was If Gang.
I'm not sure what the paper says.
I understand, but the state has never alleged that. He's not charged in this. This is a gentleman who is not. There's been no allegations that he's been affiliated with us. I believe it's a suggestion that he's a friend of Kenneth Copeland's. But that's it. I mean, I don't want it to come in, but I don't have a legal argument at this point against Mr. Zachary saying Trevante Turner was part of this mission that he's claiming existed. But at the times that I highlighted that I have a problem with, it's talking about a wholly unrelated incident. Trevante Turner, who's not one of us, and Shell Kell, who is Calvin Watts, were having their own side beef and shooting at each other, and I believe Trevante was shot maybe by Shell Kell. Mr. Watts was maybe shot by Trevante, but it has nothing to do with this indictment. It's not alleged as an overt act.
Okay, I'm so sick. This is something I have an issue with right here. There's so many shootings that are coming up in this trial that are not listed as overt acts. They shouldn't be allowed in. Sorry.
This incident would have nothing to do with that. And it's just talking about, and they're just really treating it as small talk. You know, he's telling a story and then it's a little aside about Trevante, which has nothing to do with this case.
That he is an associate of YSL/30D. Just to go to the assertion that there's never been any indication about Trevante Turner being YSL.
Well,
But that's,
associate of YSL, member of YSL are the same thing.
they are. But I'm not asserting
Uh-oh.
my argument that in saying they try to say we did it, he's not just talking about a random group of men. He's talking about them as a group that operates as YSL. It's an argument that I would make. Well,
Who's the they here? This is the
Associate
part of the
member.
gang.
Yes.
There's the alleged beef back and forth as a series of shooting. The members that are involved in this little decided are all that gang.
yes.
So if that's the money line, they try to say, like, how's that? They try to say we did it. I mean, false accusations by an unnamed group.
It's such a big reach. Once again, they try to say we did it. It's the reason why it comes in.
Declarant, in this case, Mr. Zachary is actually saying they were wrong about. How's that admissible to any? But if that's the key section, that's inadmissible of itself, wholly irrelevant, and it confuses the issues.
A group that he belongs to.
All right, so
Literally saying no, that didn't happen.
right, but she's not offering it for whether it happened the way they said it happened or not. She's offering it for the concept of that Mr. Zachary is saying, yeah, there's this we here that is YSL, and that is certainly relevant to the issues in this case.
They've already established a we and a they in this trial about 50 times. Do we need more we and they's evidence? And Lil Woody is here to clarify if he feels like he was coerced, I think. Or if he's going to testify again in general, not plead the fifth. Like, who knows?
Judge Whitaker, I think you've been before me before in unrelated matters, but I'm the judge taking over this case. So, and I'll see. What I want to ask you right now, I know that you have been given immunity with regard to your testimony, and there have been, at some point, you didn't want to testify, at some point, you did want to testify. The first question I have for you,
I don't want to testify.
okay, the first,
I never would testify.
well, want to, it's maybe the wrong term, but my question for you right now is, do you have an attorney at all?
I don't know.
You don't know whether you have an attorney? I would think that would be a no then, if you don't know.
I've talked to Melanie today.
No?
Yes.
Okay, didn't you ask to be relieved as your attorney, and did you sign something saying that's okay, you can get out of this?
I don't know.
You don't remember? Okay. Does anybody know whether that actually occurred?
I don't believe it occurred.
Is he acting dumb? Or does he really not know if he has a lawyer officially right now?
Some of what I suspect you recall when you were brought into Judge Glanville's chambers with Ms. Bumpus and a couple of people from the state, and there was a discussion that Ms. Bumpus and Ms. Hilton and Judge Glanville had with you. You asked some questions, they gave you some information. Some of that information was not actually factually correct. And I want to make sure that you have the opportunity, understanding what it is that the immunity order means, understanding.
Oh, this is going to be very confusing for him. He didn't know the difference between purging his contempt and perjury, and now he's being told that what he was told about statute of limitations is wrong.
The potential consequences are if you do testify or if you don't. We're basically going to kind of start over and
So if I don't testify, so if I don't testify, what can do?
so, I mean, that's still an issue that you can be held in jail through the end of this trial. But I'd rather have Mr. Melnick here to advise you about the potential drawbacks and benefits of what, if there are any.
To the end of this trial?
Yes.
Not the other people.
As far as I believe, but the state, what, did you want to do some further research on that?
Yes, just to advise the court.
Look at the state trying to keep Woody in there for years. That's crazy. No, he can stay until the other guys are tried that don't even have lawyers yet, because there's not enough lawyers for all the defendants.
I just wanted to know, first off, do you have an attorney? Because if you do have an attorney, then your attorney may have some information, advice, and research for me about that. So I would make sure that I tell you the correct thing about that, okay? So we're going to take a lunch break in a little while, and why don't we plan to have you back here on standby at least?
She was emphatic that Mr. Melnick said, if you testify, I'm not representing you. So, and with the fact that Mr. Copeland said,
I think Mr. Melnick did actually say that. If he testifies, I won't be his lawyer anymore. I think I remember that.
I'm not representing you. So I don't know, what that means. I'm just going to reach out to Mr. Melnick, and at least Mr. Copeland thinks Mr. Melnick is still representing him. And if Mr. Copeland never signed whatever that was relieving him.
However, it would make logical sense that given the vesting trials held in Scotland or result accepted in contradiction trials.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the same way that they suggest that if the grand jury is ever read, you can come purge yourself by testifying in front of the court.
That is true. If they hold him for all the trials, right? They hold Woody in jail for all the trials. And this trial ends. How can he purge himself from the contempt if there's no trial in between the other trials that are going to start later on? There's no trial for him to purge himself. If he wanted to come testify, that's like insane because it should be in jail for no reason, not able to purge himself of his contempt.
I'm sort of going through the end of this trial unless somebody tells me differently.
That's the right ruling. It should, if they want to hold him in contempt, it should only be this trial, not other trials where they don't have their lawyer.
The example, I don't know what Ms. Hilton means. I don't think that anybody is purposefully trying to mislead anybody. I think we're all, I think you weren't there by the time Mr. Copeland came in, but I think Ms. Bumpus, Judge Glanville, and Ms. Hilton were trying to make sure he understood.
See her attitude with that? They were just trying to explain Woody his immunity deal and purging his contempt. That's it. There was no coercion. She's going to deny all this shit. The trial's going to move on, obviously, in my opinion.
What if I said I did something and I know you didn't do it, and you said before you didn't do it? That's not perjury. That is a prior inconsistent statement. Well, I mean, yes, it's a prior inconsistent statement, but it might also be perjury. It might not be, but, there have to be some, proof that it's a lie. And he clearly, I don't think, understands. I mean, he says, I'm just an idiot at the outset. And, we're talking about purge versus perjury. And
yeah, you need to explain it to him again. A clear, concise paragraph. And go sentence by sentence and look at Woody like he's 5 years old and explain everything to him.
The federal statute on contempt related to their version of immunity is that the confinement can't exceed the life of the court proceeding. So that's sort of, I know we're not the feds, but
is court proceeding the indictment, or is it the trial of a separate? Is it a separate?
I don't know the answer.
Come on, Miss Love. Really trying to keep Woody in there for years, bro. I hate her so much. Because she knows if Woody hears, it's only 6 months. Probably this trial's going to last another 6 months, maybe. And then I get all this good publicity when I get out because people are like, hey, you didn't snitch.
The contempt is punishable for this trial. And after that, we don't do for other trials that are not set. And the government can't continue the same contempt over and over again. They can bring an obstruction of justice indictment against the person or a contempt criminal charge against the person. But we don't just hold people because it becomes, in this other case, at some point it becomes just punishment. The whole point of civil contempt is to coerce a person to do the act.
Right.
At some point, they're not doing the act.
Yeah.
Otherwise, according to Ms. Love, according to Ms. Love's reading, we can just hold him until it's 50 years late. Yes.
Yeah. And you can't be full. And I know you're not arguing that.
Mr. Steele thankfully found something that says otherwise than what Miss Love is saying. Mr. Matthews got another one.
The trial court, however, may not continue incarceration for civil contempt when the respondent lacks the ability to purge themselves. Imprisonment under civil sanctions is always conditional, and a party found in contempt may apply for release at any time upon a showing of inability to apply. The moment it appears that there is inability, it would clearly be the duty of the judge to discharge the party because the purpose of civil contempt is to provide a remedy
and to obtain compliance with the trial court's orders. The justification for imprisonment is lost when the compliance is impossible.
Thank you. I think you have hit on the exact case we needed. So that answers the question for me.
Mr. Matthews, snap. Let's go. Them trying to keep Woody in jail for all the other trials is insane. Like, those trials probably wouldn't be done until 2026, maybe. I don't even know. Maybe even later. Maybe even 2027.
Look all you want, Miss Love, but I think that pretty clearly answers the question. And I think, logically speaking, that was kind of what I was feeling anyway. But now we got case all back there.
Now we got Mr. Melnick here in a Zoom call.
Determined somewhat with agreement of the parties that we are just going to start over with Mr. Copeland. And
I can't believe this trial is going on. How is this trial continuing with all the corruption?
So I've talked to him about all that stuff.
okay. And so are you his attorney currently?
I am his attorney.
Okay. All right. So, and you're representing that you have, in fact, already advised him of all of those things?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
it sounds like Woody understands everything. Let's go, boys.
Yes, Judge, can we inquire as to whether or not Mr. Melnick, and I'm sure he has had an opportunity to discuss with him any potential federal ramifications he may have in regards to his testimony here?
Object to counsel for the defense.
I can ask them to raise anything that they think we ought to be thinking about. So
Yeah, what, Miss Love? She just asked for their input, and she's about them bringing up federal prosecution on Woody.
I invited them to say that. So I don't know whether you want any additional time, having heard that potential issue, Mr. Melnick.
Here comes Woody, boys. Here he comes.
All right. Hello again, Mr. Copeland. Your attorney, Mr. Melnick, is with us by Zoom right now. You can see him on the video screen, and he can see you. If there's any time you want to talk to him privately, let me know that. Compelled to testify because we
Taco.
are acknowledging that anything that you say, we cannot prosecute you for a crime other than perjury or false statements based on something that you might say that would otherwise incriminate you if it weren't for this immunity waiver. And if knowing that you still choose not to testify, the court can and will hold you in contempt. And what happens in that event is that you go to jail.
Man.
The length of time that you could be held in jail for if you don't change your mind and say, okay, I'm just going to go is
Oh.
the end of this trial. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think the previous projection was in February or March of next year. But who knows what's the end of this trial?
Dirty little crib. Dirty little household. Dirty little crib. I ain't trying to be an asshole.
You said something about what he said about you?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Okay. Does anybody, I think I've got the order. Mr. McDonald, have you reviewed the immunity order with him?
Oh, you said the same from last time?
Hang on a second. Yeah, the same one as last.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm talking about. And that is still in effect.
So you saying that changed?
It has not changed. So what has changed is it's my opinion that I cannot hold you in jail if you refuse to testify beyond the end of this trial. I think you have maybe been told something different earlier. And I don't think that is
So I ain't got to be every defendant gets not here.
correct. But you would, if you choose not to testify despite this order, you would
Taco.
potentially be held in jail through the end of this trial, which might be
What?
February next year, might be March next year. I really don't know.
God, man.
And the state has 100 more witnesses. And
There,
I
go.
know any defendant might also have
Oh,
witnesses.
man.
So it could take a while. But that would be the end of it, would be the end of this trial. So do you have any other questions? Okay. And it's something the state knows and can prove. They can charge you with perjury and false statements. But they can't, if you say, if you incriminate yourself about another kind of crime, they cannot use that to charge you with a crime. And they can't say,
Well, can I speak?
you can,
I have told the state. I have told the state I have lied.
I mean,
So how they gonna get the question?
I mean, that'll be their problem. That's their case to make or not make. I mean, that's not for
Oh.
them to worry about.
This is literally the worst state's witness I think I've ever seen. And this is their star witness that connects a lot of people to murders.
So,
They said they can give it.
What you doing, man? Here, I gotta go. I gotta go.
you
Go,
said you
go,
lied in every, no, but let's even say you said you lied in every statement you ever gave in this. If you get on the stand and say that again, or you say, all right, this one was the truth, that's the one they cannot charge you with perjury for, because those are things in the past. What they might be able to charge you with is, I don't know, I mean, give me an example of something that you know he didn't do, and, well, maybe, never mind, don't do
Can I
it.
hear something for what they told me?
Yeah, yes, and then I'll see whether that's what I think or not. Yes,
She said that all of this she won't allow me to. I just want to know if it's still a fact. She
okay,
said about two things. About plead the fifth and I said that I killed them terms.
Okay.
She said if I don't say them two, she will not lock me up.
All right. What was the first one?
Taking the pill.
So taking the fifth means I might say something that gets me in criminal trouble. I might give you evidence against me that you can then use against me. That's what it means to take the fifth, is say, I am not going to give you evidence to use against me to charge me. When they give you that immunity order, immune just basically means, well, we can't do this anymore. It's like if you get an immunization, oh, I'm not going to get the measles now, right? Because I'm immune from it. Because it's like getting you a shot that says, I can admit to it.
She's talking to him like he's 5.
On the stand, and they can't charge me with it. They have said, you no longer have a privilege against self-incrimination because committed to not being able to prosecute you, not being able to bring criminal charges against you because of what you say. We cannot take that evidence and use it against you. We can't take that evidence. If you say, well, I committed some crime, here's what I committed it with, I buried it in the yard. They can't go dig it up in the yard and then say, well, we've got this. They can't use any of that. That's why taking the fifth at this point would get you in trouble. Being held in contempt is what we.
So where they fix it. Like they saying something they don't know what they're talking about, and they ask me about it.
They can ask you about anything they want to. If in your answer you admit to a crime, they cannot charge you with that crime. Now, if you admit to a crime and they have evidence.
Like I said, I'm a new dad. Doubt, because I got skills I didn't even know I had. If you wait late to have a baby, you find out you can do things you didn't know you could do. I'm good, bro, at swaddling the baby. You know what that is? Swaddling, sir, you know what swaddling is. Yes. That's when you wrap the baby up. You know what I'm saying? Just like take a little upside down triangle blanket, make it upside down, lay the baby halfway up on it, wrap it up in such a way they can't get their arms out. That's what the nurse told me, you know. Stops them from scratching themselves in the middle of the night because their nails grow so quickly. I just taught you something. It's always one black dude. I just thought that was the cover. No, it's called. I didn't even know I was good at that. She was like, Mr. Mitchell, you said this was your first child? I said it is. She said, well, I taught you how to swaddle one time, and now you should teach a class to all my nurses. How did you learn how to swaddle? I was like, bitch, I've been rolling shit. I've been rapping shit. I'm going to be like, you ain't getting out there. That's my sweet swaddle right there. Spring flavor I just put you in right there. That's... Now the baby is 2. So if you know anything about 2-year-olds, you gotta watch what you say. They repeat every damn thing. You know, she repeat my wife, I know, because my wife is bougie. My daughter will come in the room, Father, I'm feeling fatigued. I'm like, don't talk to me like that. I'm not gonna listen. 2 people talk to me like that. Say you need a nap. Talk 2. Don't talk 35.
How do I feel fatigued?
When she repeat me, oh, that's so embarrassing. Like, we'll have everybody over for dinner, and we'll be holding hands. You know how you always pick the wrong person to say grace? You pick the person who want to be a pastor, so they saying a 15-minute grace, so you just sitting there like... Everybody starts squeezing each other's hand to stay away. Finally, you hear, amen. You go, amen. My baby be like, that nigga took forever. I'm like, hey. I'm sorry, I don't know where she get that. Hey, we don't use that word. That's your uncle. Oh, I don't know where she get that. My wife be looking at me like, Oh, you. did meet a cool dude. I met somebody so cool. Smell rich too. I smelled him before I met him. I'm like, somebody smell like liquid gold in this bitch. Like, God damn. I looked around my slot machine, see this older dude, name was Roy. I looked at him, I was like, hey man, what cologne is that? That smell real good. He was like, oh, I don't tell my secrets. I said, oh, that's fucked up, Roy. I said, I'm Finesse. He's like, nice to meet you. I said, okay. Who you with, bro? He's like, who you here with? Oh, I'm by myself. I'm waiting for some of the girls to come out of the club. I said, Roy, no disrespect. How old are you? He said, I'm 71. I said, God damn, Roy. I said, you look good, though. You look like the dope steak and spear dude, man. You look good. Not the new one, the old one that, had the boat shoes and the blazer. And he just looked rich. He had the shirt halfway open, expensive chest hair coming out his shirt. I was like, so your 71-year-old ass is going to try to, wait for some of the girls to come out that club right there? That's like a young club, bro. They 20-something. He said, you only live once. I was like, I can't argue that, bro. He said, you want to be my wingman? I said, I mean, I would, but I'm supposed to be taking out the trash, bro. I can't. And this camera's in here and shit. I can't get a chance. Hey, but I got a funeral next month. You be here. We can fucking turn this bitch out. I said, Roy, if you don't mind, though, can I listen to what you say? Because I've always just wanted to hear, how older dudes pick up young girls. Can I hear it? He was like, look and learn. It's like, you ain't got to say it all disrespectful like that, bro. Just want to hear you, bro. He was like, all right. Sure enough, he saw one. He saw one coming out the club. He was like, what about that one? I said, Roy, she young. He said, how can you tell? I said, look at her ankles. He said, well, what's wrong with her ankles? I said, young girls, they don't know their shoe game. You see how her ankle's shaking like that? Just, like young girls, they go to Vegas in their early 20s, they go buy some heels that match their outfit. They ain't got no life experience to know. You don't buy heels because it matches clothes. You buy heels for comfort first. Then they got to match. Then they got to be on sale. Sure enough, I bet she looked real good at 10:30 at night. You know how they do. But now it's 1:30 in the morning. She's like a damn baby avatar walking out. She was like, it was a big girl. She gave up. She was like, bitch, bring the car to the front. I told you I had the handicap stick. We could have parked up here in the front. I ain't walking all the way back there. She was still confident though. Hey, boo, how you doing? Dudes don't give a shit to so your friends when to get the car. Bro said some smooth shit though. He said, excuse me, young lady. She said, you talking to me? He leaned in, I leaned in. He said, add up all your bills. I mean, mortgage, rent, car note, insurance, cell phone, student loan, anything you got. Add up all your bills. Whisper that number in my ear. Is that it? Let's go talk about that number. You know what she said? Candace, keep your phone on. I'll be back. If I die, his name Roy. She said, no. What kind of cologne is that? Selfish ass. So I tried it. wasn't gonna follow through. I was excited. I just wanted to
I'm
see
like,
if it
oh,
worked for
follow
everybody.
through.
But I stayed in my tax bracket. I don't have expensive chest hair. But I saw a cute one. I was like, hey. Come here. What's your name? She was like, Olivia. It's nice to meet you, Olivia. I said, what's your name? I said, Aquarius. Nice to meet you, Aquarius. I said, add up your cable bill and tell it to me. Huh? What? No, that's all right. It's basic cable, that's all right. And I'm married. Have some respect for yourself. Just taking out the trash. Mind your business, Carl.
That's his funny.
You get married a second time. Well, second time. Yes, I see you, sir. Yes. Don't be ashamed. Sometimes that's what God has for you. You wasn't ready for the first one. The first one wasn't ready for you. Y'all didn't know what y'all were doing. Y'all was wasting each other's time. Then next thing you know, he gets you out of that situation and bring you into a new situation and bless you. This is the person you're supposed to be with. Yeah, look at her. She's like, yes, yes. I tell his ass that all day. I say, Joe. What's your name? Not you, ma'am. Him. Lance. You good, Lance? Lance, you ever get like 4 months into the second one and start saying shit like, well, maybe it is me. I don't know. Maybe this shit ain't for everybody. Marcella ain't the blessing. Nah, I'm just kidding. Y'all look good together, man. You know what? It ain't even us, Lance. We ready. We ready for the blessing. But your boys don't let you be happy in marriage if they single. Your boys call late. They always shouting through the phone. You scared to answer the phone. You be like, hello? It's always the same shit. Hey, what you doing? Chris Brown and Drake about to have a light-skinned Wakanda party, nigga. Let's go. You like, hey, You want to go? You don't want to go? Your wife ain't gonna let you go? She in the same room with you? She looking at you? I bet you want to go. Put on the phone. Let me answer. I'm on my way with her. Tell you taking out trash. I did that last week. Why she don't like me? Because you always call here late. It's 9:30. Yeah, but that's 9:30 in single people time. It is 1:30 in the morning for married people time. So that mean you don't want to go? I don't want to go. Okay, I'm outside. Call you back. Babe, this trash looks so full. Sometimes you gotta get creative. I get creative as hell sometimes. Because you gotta use your chips, fellas. When you're married, you gotta use your chips. You gotta strategically use them. And sometimes you just gotta get creative. Okay? I'm like, hey, babe. What's wrong? Reggie died. Who is Reggie? Reggie. My frat brother Reggie. Reggie. Known him for 20 years. I pledged with him. Reggie died. Oh, okay. Well, you okay? Yeah, we all on the group chat right now. We trying to figure it out. But I decided to be a pallbearer, so I'm gonna go to the funeral and it's an out of town funeral, so I gotta, I'm gonna leave on Friday and come back Sunday. I'm distraught right now. My head is just he's so young. He was my age. Okay, well, if he was that close, you want me to come with you? No, you didn't know him like that, and I don't want to spring this on you. I can deal with it. Okay, well, where's the funeral? Vegas. Vegas. It's like the fifth friend that died. Why all your friends dying in Vegas? I don't know. I don't know, but. Well, when is it? Labor Day weekend. DJ Khaled gonna be there.
Growing up, my sister was born with a heart condition and my parents went bankrupt. We got by to help with neighbors and church friends. I became a Marine to honor them. After Iraq and Afghanistan, I saw our bought-off politicians waging war back home, deciding how we get to live, stripping towns like mine for parts. In the Senate, I'll fight back, reject corporate money, restore our freedom, rebuild Missouri. I'm with GETMILLS, and I approve this message.
I gotta look out for my parents. You gotta figure out what they're talking about half the time. Hey, man, you okay? I said, yeah. You sure? Yeah. You all right? Yeah. Why you keep asking? What you hear? Well, you live in California, don't you? Yeah. I'm watching the news. Look like that shit on fire. He said, Dad, that we good. That was a long time ago. We good. Oh, well, you know, I DVR the news, so I'm just catching up. I said, well, that ain't the way to watch the news, Daddy. You way behind then. You know. Okay. All right. Well. Hey, I was wondering, I'm sitting there, I'm like, why don't Sylvester Stallone do something about the fire? Who? Sylvester Stallone. Why would Sylvester Stallone do anything about the fire, Dad? He the governor, ain't he? No, Daddy, he not the governor. I don't know why you would think Sylvester. Okay. You mean Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's what you mean. And he not even the governor no more, Daddy. You need to catch up on the damn news. I know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Rocky. No, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. Yeah, Rambo. Okay, put Mama on the phone. How about that? You're not gonna do this shit all day. Put Mama on the phone. She ain't no better. Hey, baby. Hey, Mama, you okay? I'm good. I miss you. I miss you too. What's your next city? Well, I'm actually about to be in Glendale, film a comedy special. Oh, do great. Where is that? I said it's right outside of LA. Okay. Well, how far is it? Well, it's 45 minutes sometimes, and sometimes it's 4 hours. It just depends on it's LA. Well, what I really called about was your uncle. I want you to come home and take a look at him. He not doing well. He got the Zika virus. The what? The Zika virus. Mama, nobody got that no more. I don't think he got the Zika virus. Well, you know how he was living, so if anybody was gonna get it, he got it. He got the Zika virus, yes. How do you get it? He got stung by a bee. Okay, put Daddy on the phone. How about that? That ain't how you get it. Put Daddy on the phone.
That ain't how you get
Hey,
it.
man, you still there? Mm-hmm. You sure? Mm-hmm. Listen, next time you come home, I want you to look in my backyard. They done cut down half my trees, rezoned everything, and put a gym up for the Mexicans. You still there? Mm-hmm. You heard what I said? Mm-hmm. Why do you think the gym is for the Mexicans, man? They say my business on the front. I took steps to the right. Shit, I know shit. I'm bilingual. I'm smarter than you. Okay, calm down. Calm down. You bipolar. You're not bilingual. Calm down. Nobody got parents like that. Like your cell phone ring, you see his dim, you be like, oh no, I can't do that shit today. I'm not gonna do it. They trying to steal my joy. I'm not gonna let them. Don't steal my joy. Big things about to happen. I keep a positive attitude. I try to tell everybody who's a Finesse Mental fan, I try to be so sincere. I say, hey man, just find me wherever you can find me and just, connect with me because I'm about to do some big things. I always try to drop little jewels, you know what I'm saying, all around the country. I tell them, say, hey, look, I know you're blue. I know things ain't going right, but, it's my job to try to make you feel good, And even though stuff ain't going right in the country, don't worry about that. Sometimes you can't change what's going on at the top, but you can determine how you treat each other in your own community. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you should do. Trying to take that message everywhere, man. I'm just, I look at the news. Now, you ever look at the news and you just be like, we gonna die. It's not that I'm too political. I don't go one way or the other, but you kind of know when somebody fucking up. You know what I mean? Anybody make you feel like you can be the president? They fucking up. That's the way I gauge it. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I miss Barack for a whole bunch of different reasons. It don't have nothing really to do with politics. I feel like the morality of the office have just gone down so low that we don't even have no real examples of we can say, kids, hey, try to be like that guy. And I mean, come on, let's think about it. Let's be honest. Be honest with yourself. 8 years of Barack Obama, and you don't even care for his policies, but not one scandal. Like, not one. He didn't steal no money. He didn't have no hoes. To me, that's character. That means you must have known you wanted to be president when you was 18 and lived your life a certain way all the way up until you actually did it. That's character. That means you was walking around the campus of Harvard University and girls were like, Barack, it's a kid party tonight, you coming? No, bitch, I'm going to be the president. That's a setup. Michelle walking behind the bitch, we ain't going on goddamn Kappa Gamma party. We got plans. No chicks, no side chicks. That's impressive. Trump went in with 19 chicks accusing 19. Even Bill Cosby was like, at least I'll put him to sleep first. Nah, the white girl's like, shut. Golly, man, can you believe that? Barack, man, that's impressive to me. Now, one girl, that mean either he the most straight-laced man in the history of politics, or Michelle has killed a bunch of bitches over the years, and we don't know what these hoes. As soon as he announced he was running for president, women all over the south side of Chicago was dropping like flies. I want to get a feel on my shit. Oh, shit. Let me get $20 on oh, shit. Excuse me, are you my ooch? Oh, shit. Walking home. Yeah. We got Tranika, we got Jazzy, we got Samantha. There's 4 more out there. Get to work. 4 more. A lot of people don't follow their dreams. You got to follow your dreams. I said, I'm going. Fuck it, I'm going. When I got out here, man, I was like, oh, he blessed me right off the bat. I got a 2-bedroom, $630 a month, 1,600 square feet right off of Rodeo. I'm bragging to everybody in Atlanta. It ain't hard out here. It's good. It's affordable. The same prices in Atlanta. You ever find out you live in a bad neighborhood or watching a movie? I saw Training Day with Denzel Washington. I was like, wait a minute, that's my house. I live next door to Denzel's girlfriend. What the fuck? My LA friends were trying to tell me, they was like, bro, you don't live off of Rodeo. I'm like, it's San Rodeo. He said, no, but in that area, it's rodeo. I'm like, what's the difference? They were like, 8 homicides a month and no Jamba Juice. I was like, I don't have a Jamba Juice. Damn. I mean, that's all right. I made it through. The toughest thing that ever really happened to me in that neighborhood was somebody tried to break in the car with me in the car. Like, I dozed off. I was asleep. It's late at night, you know. You think you're going to say something tough when somebody violates you like that. The most gangster thing I could think of, they woke me up out of my sleep. I was like, hey, somebody's in here. I'm in here. Hey. Right here. This is me right here. That's the one up there, that's empty. I'm right here. Matter of fact, let me get the hell out of this car. Oh, man, LA been good to me, though. I can't even complain about it. Only thing he got to work on me now, and I'm talking about, he got to get me out them clubs. But not like I go a lot. I just go to check in. Like, I'm in the entertainment business. Sometimes you just got to go and check in. Make sure you got it. Make sure they know you. You know what I'm saying? But even in your 40s, even though, like, we age good, and y'all know who I'm talking about right now. We age good. And you think they don't know? Real young people, they know. They know your ass ain't supposed to be in them. I don't care how much cocoa butter you put on, and they know. They say the same shit we said when we was 21, when we saw somebody 40 walk in the club. Keisha, that was your daddy. That's your daddy. Oh my God, he got on suspenders. That's your daddy. You don't even know they're talking about you. You went there like, hey.
Yeah.
What y'all know about cool water? Come on. Being there having a good time. You be doing the dances better than them sometimes. Young people are haters, dog. Stay out of the club if you don't want your feelings hurt, because you could be in there, you could be doing, they'll still walk by and say something unnecessary. Excuse me, sir. Bitch, shut up. See me killing this shit. Hater, you a hater. They don't play jazz here. Shut up.
I don't play jazz here.
Me and my lady, we cross hairs a little bit because I like scripted shows. She like all reality shows. I don't like reality shows. Matter of fact, it makes me like something like the other day we both found out together. Like she said, "Hey, why is there some tension every time it's time to watch TV? Is there some tension?" I was like, "What do you mean tension? I should be asking you that every night. You sleep way on the other side of the bed like I got Ebola or something. I should be asking you, is there some tension?" And she was like, "Well, I do that because you sleep wild." And I was like, "I don't even know what that means. What, I spread out?" She was like, "No, sometimes you elbow me in your sleep." I was like, "Oh, I don't be sleep." Every time you make me watch Real Housewives, or who gives a fuck? You catch a rim shot at 2 in the morning. I don't like that show. She watched Real Housewives of all of them.
You get the real right.
It's the same damn show in every city. And I don't like it because the girls on the show pretend like they friends. Like they lure you in under the guise that they are friends. So you watch it as entertainment, but them chicks ain't friends. They don't like each other. They don't like the man they with. They don't like nobody. And all you're going to do is bring that dysfunction back into our relationship. I know the mind game. I'm woke. You know what I'm saying? You seen the show? They all come out in the same dress in the beginning. Then they walk up and they hand out a piece of fruit. Fruit is for friends. Real Housewives of Atlanta hold out a peach. Orange County, hold out an orange. New Jersey, hold out a gun. They just depends on where the girls are from. They all say something corny in the beginning. Hi, I'm Candy, and I used to wait on tables, but now people wait on me. I'm looking at my name like, bleh. Corniest shit I ever heard in my life. I do like the women from Orange County, though. They rich for real. And they don't have no prenup, so they say whatever they want to say. Don't they crazy? It sound easy, but some people, they will fall for crazy. You've been alone so long, you be like, well, it ain't that much wrong with them. And now you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, remember when we date crazy? Because crazy was not only sexy, but it came with good sex. We be bragging. We be like, yeah, man, she might be crazy as fuck, but that head is fine. That's how we talk. Until she start breaking your car windows, then you like, oh. Your head be like, we got to make a change. We got to break up with her. Your other head be like, you better lower your deductible on your insurance because we love her. She ain't going nowhere. If I see somebody now and they crazy, you don't even get 3 strikes with me. You get only 1. If I just happen to be like, hey, how you doing? My name's Finesse. You go, oh, sorry, don't. Take out the trash, leave me alone. But women, y'all the exact opposite. Y'all will be in the same situation and the same scenario and act totally different. Okay, wait. Hi. My friends and I were just saying that you were very handsome, and I said I'm gonna come over and say hello. So my name is Cynthia, and your name is. What was it? A boobity boo? A boobity boo? I think he African, huh? A boobity boo? Next thing you know, your ass dating a boobity boo.
He's stupid. What up, Famo?
Man, I'm finna come back to y'all stuff, bro. If I beat somebody ass over here, dog.
What happened?
Bro, these niggas, bro. I thought our store was ghetto. No, y'all got the easy store. Bro. These niggas ghetto as fuck over here, bro. Bro, no, like, look, dude come in. You know, I let the OG handle this situation, whatever the case may be. Dude come in. I'm trying to come in for a top off. First of all, you passed our mileage. Cool, that's cool. All right. I can fuck with you, but you ain't that far from my past. He talking about some, yeah, man, y'all talking about my fluid. I'm telling him, I said, bro, y'all fluid low as hell, bro. I'm gonna have to charge you 50. And they talking about some, I used to work for you. What you wrong with this? I said, he talking to the OG. I turn around, I said, hey, listen, sir, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I walk up, I'm coming with peace, I'm coming with respect, OG. Bro, now you know as men, bro, when we talk, bro, we look in niggas' eyes, right?
Yeah.
But these niggas can't even look me in my eyes. That's how I know y'all trying to do this. That's how y'all know. That's how I know y'all know. That's how I know that y'all know what y'all doing is y'all trying to.
Yeah, they fucked up about what they doing.
And I'm calling you out on it, but you can't even look at me, OG. Hey, bro, I told my man, I said, hey, bro, I can take that. I can take that heat from mine if it's a customer complaint. If it's a customer complaint from there, I can take that shit from mine because I know how to dispel that. Ain't nobody gonna come in this motherfucker and think they can get whatever the fuck they want for free, bro.
Yeah, that's played.
So like, no, bro, like, bro, I'm mad, dog. I got faith in myself, but up here, nigga, I know I'm gonna get into some shit, dog.
Yeah. So what? He just let him just do anything?
Man, no, I let him slide there. I told him, hey, bro, this time y'all come back, bro. It's oil change season. If you feel like you don't want to get one here, hey, it's in your store, like.
Hey, I straight saw some customer notes yesterday. This one dude, he just keep getting fucking top offs, like top off.
Exactly. Always watch out for that blue chalk, that blue grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
Always, when Ralph not there, tell him, hey, bro, you might have to come back when Ralph here.
And he get conventional.
Y'all might have to come back when Ralph here.
That's crazy. Hell yeah, I was trying to slide through.
Shit, bro. We can link up sometime. I'm gonna be here all night, bro, because I got to do my inventory and shit.
Yeah.
So I'll be in this bitch all night. I ain't gonna fake it to you.
I called Ralph earlier. He ain't hit me back.
And he came back on vacation having to do inventory, bro.
I'm off tomorrow too. Shit, he still could hit me back. I said I'm off tomorrow too.
I got a car, bro, so I'll hit you back.
All right, bro. Shape. I don't get the shape of him. fact. Let's see.
Things don't, dumbass. Just shut up. Just shut up. Where are we from? We want to tip. Only maybe 20%, probably 20%. So which one to do, right? Oh, thanks, Sam.
Rocky.
You suffer from it. Well, what should people know maybe that they don't?
I think people should know that only 10% of people with forensics actually have that before. Okay, only maybe 20%, probably 20%.
So which one to do, right? Oh, thanks, Sam. the Catholic Church is going to have a ball for the night. What the mistake was that Kevin Hart wasn't even going to show up tonight. Not only is he here, but Hollywood's turned out to see how this will turn out. And apparently the comedian even knocked out Ali and Smart. Comedian, he at least to be taking this seriously. So, 30%. You are in for a night of entertainment. We want to figure
Los Angeles Police Department has launched an investigation after video showed an officer punching a man during an arrest. Police officials said the altercation happened following a traffic stop Sunday. It's unclear what led to the traffic stop. In a post on X, LAPD said the officer involved has been removed from field duties. Civil rights leaders are planning to attend a police mission meeting Tuesday to address the incident. The Los Angeles...
Watch the pull-up.
Off my property right now. Get off. Private property. Get off. Sir, get out of my face. Get off my fucking property, sir. I just talked to John Brown. Get the fuck out of here. Sir, I didn't speak this. I didn't speak Joseph. Yeah, that's almost right there. This is what I'm saying. Get the fuck out of here. Don't come on here again. Don't ever come on to Indian collective property. Unannounced again, you motherfuckers. Start fucking my attention.
Watch the pull-up.
This police sergeant's behavior was outrageous after someone was recording him.
So what happened inside? There was nobody inside? Badge number 2025. I can see pretty good. Oh man, interesting. How's your day? Look at the distance that he created, guys. No, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to point that out, that's all.
This police sergeant's behavior was outrageous after some...
Right. It's bad now.
I mean, she could probably get charged with child porn.
Well, she can. She's 11 years old.
She's creating it, right?
She's 11 years old.
Doesn't that still make porn?
No, she's not. She's thinking that maybe with my blind.
Is she taking pictures now?
That's what she's doing. Thank you for coming.
Right.
It's bad now.
How you doing? I've been trying to contact somebody about this $4,000 bill that I have. Hello? Yes, I sold that truck I traded my truck in about a year ago to the car company where I'm leasing my car from now, or I'm buying my car now. So Cameron Brooks. Yes. No, I didn't actually. Yes, I am. I'm not the current owner. No, I'm not the current owner. I'm stating that I'm not. I haven't owned that vehicle in a year. So does that say that I owe that money? Yeah, I'm not the owner. Okay, I just don't want that going on my credit at all. Okay, okay. So just as long as I don't owe it, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Let's, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's crazy. Let's go. Crazy. Let's go.
Wrong stairs. Got those to catch fire. Oops. Wrong stairs. Got those to catch fire. Lost a treehouse like that before. Alright, those won't burn. Let's redo the village. This back here. It's stable. Should I do it? Should I do it? You good. Something burnt with that is. You fucking lighter. There we go. Motherfucker, man. Yep, it's looking good. I gotta put some more leaves on here, a couple more branches. It is almost that time. Looking dangerous. That's huge. I still haven't named none of these yet. So Just straight start a whole forest fire out here. Straight start a whole forest fire. Yeah, she's they're gonna be I'll take quite some time. It's going too fast. Gonna play with that. Sure, this is out. Play with that. Just one house wouldn't hurt. Just one house wouldn't hurt. Hello? Hello?
Hey,
Yeah.
from what I was able to look at until we start getting the card, hey, bro, that shit look fire, bro.
Good shit, bro.
My nigga Cam.
Hold on. Say it again. You stupid.
Shout out my boy Cam on the Minecraft. That boy Cole.
You silly, bro.
What's your YouTube shit again, my man?
GETMILLS.
GETMILLS, man. We getting deals over here on Minecraft.
You silly,
Come
bro.
holler at us on Warzone. Stop playing.
Alright, bro.
He going crazy on Minecraft, but come holler at us on Warzone, man.
Beast on that too.
Hey, get me. Stop playing, bro. With the C, motherfucker. On me, bro.
Alright,
Yeah,
boy.
no, I'll let you know when I get to the crib. I might be getting to the crib later, like hella later than usual. So, but since I'm off tomorrow, shit, I'll probably jump on the game late after I, do my thing and shit.
Alright, famo.
You know it.
Yep.